What's going on? My name is Dennis, a team member here at Stream Core Productions, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to use a 2-light setup to increase the production value of your videos. Lighting is an essential part of videos. I'm sure that you've chosen to watch YouTube videos simply because the backdrop and the lighting in that video was very professional and interesting, and it kind of drew you in. It's not really rocket science for the normal YouTuber, but we're not talking about shooting a Hollywood film. However, there are some things that you need to know and a few tricks of the trade that will help you along the way. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, let me know if this was helpful in the comment section, and also in the comment section, let me know what you need help with so I can produce a video, step-by-step tutorials to help you increase your skill level and increase your production value while you're shooting your video. All right, let's get into it. All right, so here we are at the beginning stages of setting up my podcast shoot. And as you can see, right around here, if you look at this line at the top of the TV, you'll see that it's crooked. So the first thing I need to do is get my camera level. The last thing you want to do is just sit it there and not look at these small details. I want to make sure that this line is level. And keep in mind, in most cameras, when you hit record, the camera will crop in slightly. So when you're setting everything up before you record, you need to leave some extra space. All right, so let's get this camera straight. All right, so let's get this line straight. So using my tripod. Okay, there we go. I'm going to keep that line straight, get everything level.
Get everything level. It looks about level. Sometimes you have to do it a few times.
And now you can see I locked it in and it went back down. So I need to go over just a little bit more.
And that line is still not level. The corner. So keep in mind, you're going to have to deal with these tedious things unless you have a stationary setup.
And that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to move over just a little bit. So there we go. We got everything pretty level. And I'm just using a 55-inch flat screen TV as my backdrop. A Roku TV. You see this on your own TV. Most of us who have Roku TVs, you're used to this screen. Now you can definitely create something that's different, which I am going to do in the future, but I'm going to do some videos showing you how I create this. So this is just where we're starting. Eventually I'm going to create something, a background that moves and ask people to subscribe. Make sure you're subscribing right now, because I'm going to give you step by step everything as I build my podcast setup, and you're going to get every piece of information without having a membership. But you do need to be subscribed, and do me a favor, hit that like button. So the next thing I need to do is add some lighting. As you see, everything is dark. Now keep in mind, I have it dark because I know I'm going to add lighting, okay? Now I have professional lights in here. We'll get into a video, and you can go on my channel now and you can look through and see a video on some of the lighting that I have. But I'm going to go through all that lighting again and how I use it. So right now, first thing I'm going to do is add some color. So let's add a little color to this background. Now I have a light off in the distance. And that first color I'm going to use is red. And as you can see, everything is much more interesting already. Now the first light that I'm using is on a stand. It's a much larger light. But the second light I'm going to use is just a small handheld light. And I'm going to put it behind the TV to add a different color. And that color I already have programmed is a green. Let's put this up there and see how that looks.
One thing you don't want to do is drop your cell phone that was on the charger. Let's get that hook back up. There we go. Put back charging.
Now as you can see, with me adding that color, now it's just a little bit more interesting. They kind of blended together and you see less of the red. But if I move my light over, I can start to blend in that red more where I want it. And again, keep in mind, unless you have a stationary room where you set everything up, you're gonna have to play with things quite a few times. Now that I have those colors in the background, I'm gonna start working on the light that is gonna light the subject. And in this video, I'm the subject. So let's take a look at how I look without the lighting first. All right, so here I am with no lighting, just me. But I can tell you now, when you are setting up your lighting, you want to be recording. That's another point. You want to be recording because again, most cameras, when you hit the record button, it crops in just a little bit. So in order for you to understand what's happening, you need to be recording. Now, again, if you have a stationary room, you should only have to do this one time as long as you leave everything alone. But if you're somebody who works and creates content for other content creators and other businesses like myself, then you have to move your cameras around quite often. So I have to do this almost every time that I want to change the color. And as you can see, right then, one of my lights changed colors in the back. I've been having a short in that light. So it just left, the green left, and now it's more of just like a warm, low Kelvin light, like maybe 2500 Kelvin light now. So it changed the way everything looked. Let me go and change that back to the green. So now I'm going to go sit down again so you can see how it looks with that one light on my face. All right, so that looks different than it did before. And I'm going to turn this light a little bit closer. I want it pretty much covering one half of my face. So in order for me to make sure that it's covering one half of my face, I'm going to put my hand over the side of my face that the light is pointing to, that is closest to, and then I'm just going to look over. If I can cover my eye and I can see any of that light, then that means some of that light is bleeding onto this side of my face. So what I'm going to do now is turn the light a little bit more so I can't see it. Right now I can see it. And if you pay close attention, I'm going to use this hand now, you might be able to see how the light moves as I move it over. So now when I put my hand on there, I can see less of the light on my face. So now this side of my face is lit up with something around 2700 Kelvin. I have another light on this side that I'm going to use, and that's going to be more of a blue light. It's going to sit at around sunlight with a diffuser and reflectors, the silver reflectors that you see on lights. And I'm going to set that up, and then we're going to take a look at how that looks. All right, so I have that light up now, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look this way, and I'm going to see if I can see any of that light. And right now I can see just a little bit of that light. So I'm going to move that light over some so I can have more of a warm light here and a white light here. All right, or a high Kelvin light here and a low Kelvin light here. Now at this point, I really can't see this light once I cover up this side. But if you can see closely on my hands, on this side of my hand you see more of a warm light, and on this side you see more of a blue light or a white light, which is a higher Kelvin number. So now I have myself lit up pretty well. I got my color, my red, I got my green, I got my two lights. Because I have myself lit up now, this is the point where I'm going to shoot my introduction. So what you saw in the beginning of the video, I'm just going to edit the video so it seems like I did everything in a different order. It seems small to somebody who may have been shooting videos and editing for a long time, but for you beginners who are watching, remember, you don't have to do everything in order when you're shooting video because you have the magic of editing. And this is why people choose to edit their videos, because you can control your workflow much better. Listen guys, I really hope that this helped. This is the first step of your pre-production. 2 lights, maybe a color light in the back. You can use 1 light for color. You can actually use 1 light for lighting, but I prefer to use at least 2 lights. On the next video, which is why I want you to subscribe to the channel, The next video, we're going to go through some video editing, and I'm going to show you the difference on how it looks now versus how it looks as I edit the video. We're going to do first some color grading, and then we're going to chop it up and do some editing. We might do some little tips and tricks. I appreciate you spending some time with me today. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.